so fucking good.
Addiction.
It is. It really is.
Oh, I should have tried warming it up.
That would be good too, but then I don't know. It might get runny. It has that consistency that it might just sort of melt into nothing. You know what I mean?
Because it's thin, right?
Yeah,
It's like a sour cream almost.
It's not like queso. Like it doesn't have that oily.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this is Jazz.
And Sher.
And
We're addicted to like cheese dip. Sorry.
And this is Taco Chip Talk with Jazz and Sher.
Taco Talk. This is Taco
Talk. Tacos 24/7.
No. Taco Talk with poltergeist on top.
With a little spice of ghouls and a little dash of specters.
That's
and
right.
And this is Giving Up the Ghost podcast, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's what we are.
Recording some intros for the psychic fair. And and just a little bit of backstory. It was at the Gimli Dance Pavilion, and it was built in 1936.
Oh, really?
It was the coolest layout, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Probably some Hooden folk dancing there.
Hooden folk there, for sure.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's right.
That's right. So enjoy today's episode to Psychic Fair, and ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Bye-bye. Enjoy.
Have a seat.
Do you have a story?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jazz.
Hi.
What is your name?
My name's Kevin. This is my
Hi.
daughter Agnes.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, Agnes. Here, we're just going to straighten that up. So, we're Winnipeg's first and only paranormal podcast. We tell, share stories. Have a card
No, thank you.
if you would like. Or you and your daughter, you can each have a card. So, what is your story that you have?
So when my daughter was about 4 and her little brother was a little under 2, we were taking the train to Toronto.
Okay.
And we had gotten a nice fancy berth. We were really treating ourselves. So we boarded the train quite late at night. It left Winnipeg at like 10 in the evening. It was all very dark and confusing. Got the kids to sleep.
Right.
I always wake up very early, so I was up at around 5, and I was just kind of sitting at the bench waiting for coffee service to start while the kids and my wife slept. And an elderly man with a very strong German accent came kind of shuffling through the train.
Okay.
And he asked me if I knew where car 217, something like that, was. And I said, no, I'm sorry, we just boarded last night. I don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
And he said, that's okay, I'll find it sooner or later. And then he started to strike up a conversation, and he noticed that we had some kids stuff around. And he said, oh, you've got kids? That's like, kids are nice, but they're filthy. And then he gave me a really long story about how you have to aggressively potty train children.
Oh my
He would
God.
make the children sit on that pot and not get up for hours, didn't matter how much they would cry.
Oh my God.
And he said, well, I'm going to go try to find my car, and he shuffled off. And of course I was delighted, and I couldn't wait to point him out to my family
Of course,
later.
yeah.
But he was nowhere on the train. I was up and down the train all day, did not find him. And so I joked, maybe he was a ghost and he's just stuck on this train looking for car 217 forever.
Jeez.
But the next morning, again, I woke up early, and again, the exact same man came walking through and had the exact same conversation with me.
Wow.
And then wandered off, and then we got off the train that day, so I didn't get a chance to see if third time was the charm.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's a ghost,
But it's weird to have the same conversation.
Weird. It was very weird, and weird that we couldn't find him. It's a train;
Sure.
you can't go anywhere.
And you see those
He
same
had to be
people.
there somewhere,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
But anyway, so that's my ghost story.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Probably like a residual haunting, like he probably does it with everybody. Yeah, very cool. Thanks.
And strong feelings about potty training.
Yeah, very strong. Yes. Interesting.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you so much for sharing.
My
Hopefully you'll
pleasure.
check us out.
Thanks.
Okay. Have a great day. Sorry, I totally got off track about the little mountain park. So you said it was creepy at night just because it was creepy at night, right? Like.
Yeah, we could hear rustling and stuff, but we were, like I said, we were more worried that it was like a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like ghost where?
Because I have a really funny story about Little Mountain. So back in the day in my past life, before my husband and some boyfriends and stuff, I dated a real loser. Oh my God. It was the pinnacle of losers, this guy. I was with him almost 2 years. So anyway, aside from that, we'd always look for free things to do, and we'd just rummage around, and we'd go to the park once or twice. We went there one day to have a barbecue, and I told you this story. Little Mountain Park, the one time we went there, I got such a bad vibe, like just a bad energy. It was like during the daytime, it was like a little overcast, but nothing, sun come and go kind of thing. Nothing bad, nothing whatever. There wasn't really too many people around. This is way before it was ever a dog park, And and then all of a sudden I got a really bad feel. I don't know where the tree was, and then all of a sudden there was like this really weird gust of wind that came. Like it wasn't a good wind. It was like a bad. And I'm like, we got to leave, and we left. Yeah, and we'd been there a couple times before because it was just off the beaten path, but I just got such a bad feel from that place, and I don't think I might have been back with my husband one time, but I just get creeped out by the park now. There's just something, and that was way before I even heard any stories ever.
And a lot of people tell us that there's like energies and stuff there, but I mean, there's so much energy
everywhere.
So it's hard to, like, he was just asking us, and people ask us all the time, like, what's the most haunted place? And I'm just like, it's hard to measure that because, like, there are places where we've had, like, some seriously crazy experiences. There's other places where we've just seen a lot of different things. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean,
we get that
like
too.
I was telling her, like, when you go in the woods, you're still going to be more careful. Like, I'm more worried about real people.
Yeah.
Real people scare me.
Yeah. The world is too people-y sometimes. Yeah.
I mean, there's serious, like, outside the fire museum last night, it was not.
Oh God, yeah. No, I know.
Well, I looked out the window and I'm like, I didn't want to see that.
How does Stephen King say the monsters are just people? Really, there's no such thing as monsters. It's the people.
Well, it's like Scooby-Doo, right? He always pulls off the mask and it's always a person underneath.
Pretty much, yeah. So that's the scary. That's the what you have to be scared of is the living, not the dead.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty creepy. Although,
dogs are so innocent. They're innocent creatures. So I think that they overpower whatever bad energy there is. Now that it's a dog park, I think that they've totally taken over.
Could be.
Well, they say that about cats, that they absorb all the negative energy, and that's why they sleep so much.
Yeah.
I had read an article on it. I was like, I'm glad I got a cat now. I mean, there's energy everywhere. Mm-hmm. I've been in the Barrier Park, and I was doing EVP sessions and ghost box sessions, and I didn't really hear too much at the time, but then when I played it back on my headphones, I'm like, holy crap.
You picked stuff up, yeah?
Yeah, I was like,
sweet.
Okay, I didn't hear that stuff before. I'm like, what?
That's by the old monastery, right? Le Barrier? Isn't that St. Norbert?
Where is it?
Yeah, it's close to St. Norbert.
Is it?
Yeah. And it's known for, like, people have said that they've heard, like, children running around and childlike voices. Yeah. It was another one of those nights where I was out with one of our paranormal people, and we're just like, let's just go investigate somewhere.
Yeah. So, interesting fact, a couple weeks ago, like, May and June was just amazing for me and Sherry to get out and do interviews, and we went with you guys. We did Doors Open. She did one of them, and then we actually finally hooked up with the two Bake Girls. They have a podcast, and we did an episode with them about 3 weeks ago that came out.
I remember that.
Yeah, and the one girl, Ray, she works part-time. She has for about 8 or 10 years for the Nicolette Hotel in St. Boniface. It's really old, and apparently it used to be a monastery back in the day. Yeah. So, and she said the family that run it, really sweet, nice family, but they're very Catholic, they're very church oriented. They don't believe in ghosts or anything. Like, stuff can happen right in front of them, and they'll be like, yeah, that was nothing, Yeah, so if you ever want to go back and listen to that episode, I'd love for you guys to meet her, because she's like, I want to get you guys in that hotel, just to sit in the bar, see what happens, right? It's a public place.
Let's go.
Put our K2 meters on the table.
Yeah, we should totally go.
Yeah, go for a beer. Sure.
I'm down.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Now I want a beer, thanks.
Sorry. I give off that feel, what can I tell you? I make people want to drink. This fly makes me want to drink, buzzing around her head.
Actually, Kimberly has a story for you.
Oh, her house. Did we tell Kelly about her house at the jail? I can't remember.
My former boss, she has had numerous experiences. She's told Jasmine about them. The latest one is that I feel that the dresser has a lot to do with it. Like things that are on the dresser get knocked off a lot.
Okay.
Hi.
And
How are you?
actually, around Halloween, they had like a clown decoration for Halloween. They brought it inside, and the head turned and looked at it.
No way.
Yeah. The latest one is that when her mother-in-law was in the cabin, she's got a lot of activity in her house. I said, you know what? It's nice out now.
Yeah.
Do your sage.
Yeah.
She said she does it when every sage she does it usually lasts about 6 months.
Well,
Yeah.
if she wants us to come in, let her know.
Yeah, she's told me so many stories. Like I've talked about them in previous episodes. And when something will happen to me or to happen to her, she'll get a hold of me and she's like, "Hi, how are you?" And then she'll say something's happened again, and she'll tell me. I feel like somebody hung themselves in her house. That's what I feel.
Really?
Well, did you ever talk about on your show about the clown head that turns?
No, it was Santa Claus.
No, it was a clown. It was at Halloween.
Oh, Halloween, right. So she was bringing out her after an afternoon with her granddaughter in the hot tub, and they got locked outside the house to only find out that the door was unlocked the whole time, but something wouldn't let them back in. That's a whole long story of events. So she's relaxing on the couch that evening, but she was so exhausted from that whole experience about being locked out because she had to call her husband, come home.
Right.
But he's like, it's unlocked, and it wasn't. So anyway, long and short of that, she's exhausted. She didn't have the energy to put out her Halloween decorations, but they were all like set up at the edge of her couch, right? She's laying there watching TV, and out of one eye, she saw the clown's head turn and look at her. It was like a plug-in thing, but it wasn't plugged in.
Oh yeah, it was. That's right. It was electronic and it wasn't plugged in.
Did she know any of the history of?
No.
Do you know the house number? Can you look at it?
I have it written down
I
somewhere.
have the house number.
And I tried to do the history search on it, but it's a newer house. Do you have any ghost stories? Ghost stories? No?
Well, yeah.
Yes,
Sit
no?
down and share.
Well, it's not much of a story.
So what? Just sit down.
You're not going to record me, are you?
Well, it's not live. I edit everything else.
Okay, so you want to put this on Winnipeg Paranormal?
Yeah. Well, it's not really. This is a ghost. It's a presence. I'm the only one in my home who's in tune with anything, and I've never heard or seen it. My dog. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
What is your first name?
Nancy.
Nancy. Hi, I'm Jazz.
Jazz, hi.
That's Teresa, Karen, and Ashley.
Hi.
Hi.
Two ladies are from Paranormal.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, there's something. Yeah. My husband and my daughter, who are the most skeptical people, are the ones that hear it. I've never seen or heard it, nothing. But the dog, she just focuses all the time.
Does her head move around like she's watching it?
Pardon me?
Does her head move around like she's watching it?
No, it seems to be in the same place all the time. Yeah, there's something there. It's so cute, actually. She just sits there and talks her head. Maybe something's talking to her. Very, very focused. So, yeah.
How old is your home?
1951. Yeah. So, but it's funny because I don't notice a damn thing.
Well, it's not like threatening or anything if you're done.
Nope. She's not upset.
There, that's
She's
better.
just very.
I'm like, there's so much space.
She settles
there.
down
There's
actually and
nothing.
focuses. It's cute. But
Oh,
yeah.
it's way up there.
I'm disappointed that I don't pick up anything. So not for me. Yeah. Sure thing.
Did you see the setup over there? Oh my god, it's so nice. What a beautiful setup. It's got the ambiance, it got strings of lights, and that's all it is. And there's tables with like mediums and the different healers and all that. And they got massage tables and stuff like that. The Reiki, yeah, a little bit of everything. It's very cool. I was telling these ladies about Jen's house. Yeah, it's got the little people. Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
How are you guys? It's a great podcast. Listen to it.
Is your podcast about ghost experience?
Do you have any ghost stories?
Yeah. It's always ghost stories.
Would you care to share it?
Well, we're a poltergeist. We study poltergeist.
Really?
And Mark, my two sisters, we're all 14 months apart. Lots of energy. And the radio would come on and station drift would happen all the time. We'd hear crashes down the basement and we would go down to investigate with knives and frying pans. We're like 12, 13 years old. There was nothing there, but it sounded like a whole tray of cutlery dumped on a cement, nothing there. Yeah, so the whole house was pretty haunted that way. And then as I grew older, I started reading about it, and 3 teenage girls in one household and all that energy.
Yes. Yep.
So it's really energy
yeah,
we're talking
yeah,
about. So it
yeah.
didn't scare me, and I was never really scared there. But my sister was a witch. And I would like to say a white witch, but she wasn't a white witch. So she always scared us. She always scared us. So, and it was in that same house. So there were a lot of associations with that house. But yeah, so and my husband has some kind of spirits, UFOs even. Yeah, we both saw you. That's not a ghost though. Yeah, we saw a UFO fly over our house, and he woke me up at 3 in the morning, and I'm like dead asleep. And he was like, "Get your camera, phone your dad. Where's the binoculars?" And I looked out, and this thing flew right over, and it was this huge round, lots of lights. So, out here, we live out here. So there's lots of stories. There's been there's been insectoids seen around here. Yeah. So I grew up with the ghost stories and my. No, in Trenton, Ontario. Then lived in Germany, where it was all castles and forests and streams and. So there was a lot of magic all the time. So I grew up kind of believing in magic and stuff. But the ghosts, I always thought living people were a lot more scary.
Just the same thing.
The Maniac movie scared me way more than like a ghost story. But the Ouija board always terrified me. So I thought, like, if you don't know what you're doing and you're inviting I don't even understand it, but I never really, and then I was with people that used it and cheated. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry.
It was like, where's my honeymoon going to be? And it spelled out Norway, and it was like, I found out later this person wanted to go to Norway.
Yeah, I know.
So, got to be careful who you're dabbling with. You weren't taping that, were you? Where's that going? Where's that going?
That's all good. Unless you want to say your name.
Where's that going?
We probably in the next few months. Nothing. We upload it. Don't you worry.
Do you have a ghost story? You were taping my ghost stories.
It's not live.
So what made you guys get into ghosts? There's 4 of you.
Well, you see, I'm with Giving Up the Ghost podcast. My partner couldn't be in today.
Okay.
This is our Phil and Teresa, but we are co-hosting with the Winnipeg Paranormal Group, who do investigations. Yeah.
So you have a podcast then?
We have the podcast.
You're going to play that on your podcast?
At some point. Yeah.
So funny.
So now you have to listen to us.
Just kidding.
To find out when. Yeah. No takesies backies or whatever.
That was. I'm glad I didn't know what you were doing there.
I mean, if you want, I don't have to
No,
put
don't.
it up.
You didn't say my name, so that's totally
Yeah, we're all about the discretion. Like,
Yes,
people
for
give
sure.
us addresses and stuff, and I block that all out.
Yeah.
You
So
should have
how
heard
did you
some of
guys
us.
find each other then?
Well, you guys go. You've been around longer. You go for it.
Well, how did you find us though?
Well, just I know who you guys are. I'm your biggest fan.
No. So
I like the name too, Giving Up the Ghost. Sorry, what was that?
we started. I don't know when did I start? 2000.
Started after me, or before me.
11 or 2012. But I mean, I've been fascinated
With ghosts
with
and
everything.
spirits?
With everything, basically. Like growing up believing in magic. and all of that stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's still.
I mean-
Patricia, we always talk about fairies, right?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in New England, in Massachusetts.
God, yes,
So I mean, you're surrounded by like all these big mansions and all of the, you know, like I remember one house we thought there was like a dark witch living there, and nobody ever came out, and you know, and we played with Ouija boards in somebody's attic and like one of the big mansions, and something happened. You know, we'd skulk around cemeteries. I mean,
Sounds a lot of the stuff I
was
did
just
when I was
always
a kid.
fascinated because I'm like, there's something more. I know that there's something more.
See, in the that energy there in New England, you know, when we lived in Germany, like I said, as a little girl, we played in the forest, and this is we lived in a foreign country, and we'd go out on, say, a Saturday, and we'd be gone all day. Parents never worried about us. We didn't have cell phones, of course. And it would get dark, and we knew we had to go home.
Yeah.
And I mean, we had no phone, no telephone, and no television for all those formative years, and so we developed our imaginations.
Yes, I mean, you heard
Believed in
stories,
magic, right?
and stories were passed
Yeah.
to everybody, and there were always like these spooky stories about areas where you lived, and certain
Resonates.
houses.
Yeah.
And, you know,
And it
you're just like,
resonates. But I
there's
don't
something in there.
That is true with the magic. And you can, and I went to England in number 2000, I think, and you could feel it there too. And near the water and stuff. And anyways, if you read it, in New England, well, that would be like Virginia and stuff like that.
Yeah, like all like Massachusetts
Washington
and New York
Virginia
and
stuff like that.
all those little tiny states all
clustered
together, right? Yeah, but you have all that old history and those big huge houses, and like when you see them in the scary movies. Yeah. So.
People died in that land.
But magic is still there. I still believe in it.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a feeling, right? It's a connection to nature.
It is. It is that.
You have a deep
It was really fun talking to you. Look at these little stickers. Look at
Well, there's ghost stickers. You guys are too much. You're gonna like sticker me out.
She's buying stickers today.
You can never have enough stickers.
Can we open it up?
But have you ever seen, this is so cool, I'll record this because this is so cool. If you ever get a chance to see videos like whether it's TikTok or YouTube or wherever videos, and if you ever Google or search up ring light videos and stuff, like, you know, your door alarm, your ring, yeah, there have been some weird stuff that people have caught, not spirits, not orbs, but things like with 3 and 4 legs you can't explain and stuff, casually, like just in the frame. And it's just like, I think, you know, because it catches them at 3 a.m. when the veil is thinner, and I think it's just something on another plane, you know, just like where the little people hide and all that kind of stuff, right? So
Well, we were talking about that. We were on a podcast, what was that, like 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? With Merle and...
Wasn't it in June? What date is it?
oh, Jules and which podcast was it?
It was, he's out of Vancouver.
Oh my god, I can't believe it.
Okay.
Oh, anyway.
But anyways, I was talking about that whole, like, the fact that a lot of us, like, we don't really still, because it's all theoretical, because we're still trying to understand, like, we've seen stuff, we've experienced
Sure,
stuff.
yeah.
But is it ghosts? Is it something else? Is it
Yeah.
another dimension? Is it other, because we understand that there are other planes. So it is just trying to make sense of
And I think that's why, like,
I don't know.
yeah, and I think,
Spaced out radio, by the way.
oh yeah, oh, I've seen them on Facebook, yeah. But I mean, that's like, oh, what was my train of thought? Choo-choo, gone off the rails.
It's because that phone ringing.
It was totally threw me off.
It's a ghost phone.
Remembering the 80s or something.
So like when you're saying when there's like different planes of activity and stuff, and is it spirits or not, I think that's why when people say do the Ouija board thing and they don't know what they're doing, I think they open a portal and not necessarily to what they're looking for, right? Like they can bring anything in, and that doesn't necessarily, it could be like demons, it could be like black energy, like, you know, like personally that's why I don't do the Ouija board, because I've played with it and things have happened. I didn't like it, you know, but I think that kind of opens things up to other planes of other things coming in.
But the thing is, for me, and I think Ashley agrees, is the whole like divination, communication thing. I feel like they're all very similar. The Ouija board has gotten bad connotations. I mean, people have been using it for thousands of years.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But we are always opening up different portals like that. So I mean, any kind of communication, divination, even if you're just doing EVPs,
right?
People should still be very careful, and I think that they don't think about it as much when they're doing something that doesn't seem as harmful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're just sitting there talking into a microphone, you're like, oh, this isn't harmful. But I mean, people have gotten messages on computers. People have gotten messages on cell phones.
Yep.
And there are people actually researching that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is really, really fascinating.
Yeah. Like just for the few times that just like for the few times we've caught voices, you know, and it's just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
Like the first time I ever caught that, I was like, oh my God. You know, it like really freaked me out. I'm like, yeah, this is real. This is totally real.
Sure.
And then
it kind of validates.
Her house, I was like, what the frick did I just see? Right?
But it's nice because it kind of not only just validates, but but it also kind of puts it in perspective that it's not for nothing, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I know, because, when I was at her house investigating when she had first hired us, I remember thinking that, like, what am I doing? Am I really, why have I been, like, so hellbound to do this? And because we were getting nothing in there. And I'm like, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe it's just me. And then all of a sudden all hell broke loose. And I'm like, oh, okay, yep. I got my answer. I was like, I totally believe it.
I mean, I guess, you know, I think in my mind, because we only get like 6 answers with the magnetic sphere of fortune, it's in my comfort zone, you know? But like, I've had some pretty weird shit happen with the Ouija board, so I just don't want to go back there, you know? I actually had an electrical shock go up my arm, and so did the person, because we were getting too close to asking a spirit very prying questions, because we were young. Mm-hmm. Do you have a ghost story? Do you like ghost stories? Ghost stories? No? You have lots? Do you want to share or get a hold of us? No, seriously. We do ghost stories in Winnipeg, Manitoba area specifically. We don't go anywhere else. So, we've been doing it 4 years. We're downloaded in 43 countries, and we're very open. So, if you ever want to share with us, definitely get a hold of us. Oh, interesting. Very cool. Awesome. Well, maybe we can have you on as a guest sometime. Yeah, for sure. What's your name?
My name is Lee.
Lee?
Very much like your best friend.
You know what? My whole life revolves around that. So. Nothing's good.
No, I get it. For sure. Well, it's awesome meeting you, Lee.
Likewise.
Yeah, we'll be in touch for sure.
Like I said, if you ever want to hear some good stories, I got lots of stories.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay, enjoy your day. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. It means something, so it's him. The light just went out as Lee was talking to us, just the ones behind us, so there you go. Take that what you will, I guess. Yeah, all the other lights remain on, but as Lee was telling us about his changes, the lights went out.